Yo, we are back. Sports Jazz. Please do subscribe and welcome you to another edition. Isaac, I am in the building, and of course, let's have some fun. Let's talk Manchester United. Let's talk football. And of course, as always, sir, I'm checking someone who's trying to. Uh, that is Josh, by the way, that is trying to tell me I wait for him. That is Josh. Once again, guys, please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. Always here in the evening. I don't know what time it is that side, but from my end, it's evening. And I'm here to do nothing but talk about Man United. Of course, it's been a jolly mood ever since the official announcement of Brian Mbumo. I saw him, by the way, talk. They asked him, "How do you pronounce your name?" And a lot of us have been saying Mbumo. It's Mbumo. It's Mbumo, Mboo, then Moo. That way, Mbumo. You get it. So anyway, please do subscribe. Brian Mbumo is already a Manchester United player. We are now waiting for the next signing to happen. I believe that is going to involve a striker, most likely to also have a midfielder and a keeper later on, because we know everyone is still talking about Onana. No one trusts Onana. Well, I'm here with the latest Manchester United news. Just to give you a recap, of course, United have already signed Mbumo, they've already signed Cunha, they've signed Diego Leon, and I understand United, from my perspective, United considers Mbumo and Cunha, both of them, by the way, did cost a total of 127.5 million pounds. I mean, they consider this to be excellent business. And do I think it's excellent business? Absolutely, 100%. I think it's the kind of business we need. These direct players, we need players with already Premier League experience to come and save us. I'm going to call saving us because we performed so poorly last season. And for a club like Manchester United, it's good we still have that financial power, that commercial power, that we can even still attract players to come join United regardless of our position, how we finished towards at the end of the season. Even without European football, it's amazing that United still has that commercial power, that we are able to pull all these guys to come in. I say commercial because United is a money club. I mean, they can still pull all these guys to come in. Of course, it's always a dream to play for Man United, but yeah, for a combined 127.5 million pounds, we managed to get Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbumo, and yes, that is very excellent business. Both are among the Premier League most sought after forward players, with a combined 35 goals. That is also 14 assists altogether from last season in the Premier League. You can say in one of the toughest leagues in the world. Of course, that's a key factor in the club's decision. Because I mean, you've had players like Garnacho, Sancho, Marcus Rashford. By the way, those are the three Avengers. I call them the Avengers, the freedom fighters. You've had them laid off, and those are all forwards. So of course, already adding two more very good proven EPL strikers, or rather forwards, in Cunha and Mbumo. I think it's very good business. Yes, it's been challenging. One of the most challenging periods of the club is last season, and I hope that doesn't continue. I hope we find a way to counter this. And right now, United is focused on getting a striker, and none other than Brian Mbumo is the one that has, Benjamin Sesko, and a bit of Ollie Watkins. Those two have been on lips of Man United fans. The journalists, though, have been trying to push the narrative of United being interested in signing Nicholas Jackson. I don't know how true that is, but I hope it's false. Well, he could be available, because now I understand he's a bit worried that Chelsea signed João Pedro. I, as a United fan, I'm not interested in getting Nicholas Jackson's services. Not now, not tomorrow, not the other day. He can stay where he is. We are fine. We just need to get better players. That's all I can say. We just need to get better players, and I don't think Nicholas Jackson is a better player. I mean, I would take Ollie Watkins over Nicholas Jackson any day. Both of them, by the way, are injury prone, but at least Ollie Watkins can give you much more. He's much more of a poacher of a 9 compared to Nicholas Jackson. Ollie Watkins scored 16 goals last season for Aston Villa, 16 goals and around 8 assists. That is very good. That is very good. Benjamin Sesko scored around 13 or 14 goals for RB Leipzig last season. So again, ideally, I think Ollie Watkins is would be a great addition to the club to lead the striking role this season for Man United. But the only problem is he's outpriced. I mean, you cannot tell me a player like Ollie Watkins, who is 29 years old, a few months left to make 30 years, being rather has a price tag of 60 million pounds. That is too much. That is too much for a 29-year-old player, and of course, who's too much of a risk because of his injury record. He's a toilet paper bone kind of guy, Luke Shaw kind. So, but if I'm to pick between him and Jackson, I would pick Ollie Watkins. I think even over Benjamin Sesko, I would pick Ollie Watkins. The advantage with Benjamin Sesko is Sesko is still a young kid. He's around 22 years old. There's still chance of him to grow and become an elite striker. He's powerful. He has pace. He's around 6'4" in, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. He's a very tall guy. But as everyone says, Premier League experience. People love that. I think that is one of the reasons. That is one of the reasons as to why they bought Cunha and Cunha. Then you have other players in Mbeumo, because they want goals right away. They want to hit the ground running. They don't want to waste any time. So, yes, I understand Benjamin Sesko is on United's radar. Ollie Watkins is also there. But for Ollie Watkins, again, to go back on that, if I'm to take Ollie Watkins, if he's less than 25 million pounds, I would take him. He could give you 2 or 3 seasons, Not saying, of course, you take him, he gives you this season while you plan for next season to get another striker, a better striker. Because right now our financial muscle is a bit challenged because we didn't get European football, and also on top of that, how we finished, 15th on table. So it was really ugly. It wasn't nice at all. It was nasty for Man United. So yeah, we're a bit struggling with PSR, to get players on board, to get players that we want. One of the reasons as to why Gyökeres chose Arsenal over Manchester United is because we did not have European football. Now, okay, good for Arsenal. I understand he's on his way to London to have Medco. That is good stuff for Arsenal. Now back to United. Sesko, he's a player that anyway, if he's around and United can find its way to sign him, I understand his price tag has been set by Leipzig, 60.6 million pounds. He won't leave for anything less than that. So, I mean, if he's around, United is willing to get him, or rather, they are able to make Leipzig sit on table, get the payment in installments. You bring him. Why not? You bring him. He joins the team. But to me, I still think you could let him, if Ollie Watkins was around for around 25 million pounds, or even on loan, I'll take him, because those 16 goals last season and 8 assists, yo, bro, it's a bit of challenging not to. Hi, Tinsu, what up? How are you? I'm good. How are you, brother? How are you? It's been a while, Deliso. I haven't seen you in a while. Yes, United, I like Sesko, Guarez, and Edison. Emi Martinez to United is better for next season, plus Enos, or rather Ineos plan to make plan for Amarim, please. Look, I think Guarez, you're talking about Javi, right? The Valencia midfielder. I don't think we are going to get that player. I don't know. I could be wrong, to be honest. I've seen reports today that we are interested into the player. Is it negotiations? He rejected the new offer from his current club, that is Valencia. But I do not think we are going to get. I think they are just trying to do that. The agent is trying to do that through journalists just to get a better deal from Valencia. I do not see us getting Javi Guarez from Valencia. But if he comes, he would be a good midfielder. He would be a great addition to the Manchester United midfield, because we need that midfield working. You saw the game against Leeds. It's still this. It gives me vibes of how we performed last season in the midfield. So if he comes through, that will be a great deal for Man United. Because we need a midfielder. We need someone who can cover ground. We need someone who can track very fast, out of position, fall back, and also someone with an engine who can run around and recover possession. Because with the Amorim's style of play, you need legs, you need pace. That's the first thing. Whether you're striker, whether you're wing back, whether you're CB, whether you're a midfielder, especially wing backs and the midfielders, you need pace and legs. Now, I do not see our Casemiro giving us that in the midfield. Yes, he's a good player. Maybe he can give us, or he might give us 1 or 2 games, but he's not going to give you 5, 6, 7 games in a row. You know, Casemiro, no way, no way. So yes, Ederson also comes into the picture, as Deliso said. Very good player, talented. You know, he's physical. He knows, he has very good reading. You know, game good reading. He can track back. You know, he can cover the ground so well. I think he would be great if United went, and he goes for around I understand also 60 million pounds, because earlier on the way rumors that he would go for around 40 million pounds, but Atlanta said 60 million pounds. But it's negotiable. It's negotiable. It's very, very much negotiable. But that Brazilian would do magic to Man United's midfield. Him and Bruno Fernandes, yo, that will be sweet. That will be sweet. About Emi Martinez, if he's coming on a free transfer, I'm happy to take him. If Emi Martinez is leaving Aston Villa, sorry, not on a free, on a loan deal. Okay, I would say also on a free transfer, but unfortunately, he still has a contract with Aston Villa, so that is not possible. But if he can come on a loan deal, or for anything not more than 15 million pounds, I'll take him. You bring him, and they hustle it out with Onana so that there's competition for Onana, because Onana keeps making crazy, silly mistakes, you know, that have cost us. So yes, Emi Martinez will be a great player for Man United if he comes on a less amount, because I understand Villa have slapped a 40 million price tag on him, and United, there is no way this current United under Ineos is paying for a 32-year-old goalkeeper 40 million pounds. That is not going to happen. No way. Brian, what up, Brian? What up, Brian? Brian, I think it's the first time I've seen you, brother. Shout outs to you. Please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. We're always on. He say we need outgoings. We won't get nobody. That is very true, Brian. But look at how we're just struggling to get Sancho. Sancho, we paid, was it sometime last year? I mean, around this year? Back then, during Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, United paid 73 million pounds for that idiot. I'm sorry to use that language. 73 million pounds for Jadon Sancho. That's the amount of money that United bet. But surprisingly, this financial year for Man United, at the beginning of this summer, is when United has completed the whole amount, because they were paying it in what? In installments. Now, again, surprisingly, United is struggling after paying that amount of money, after finishing paying the whole amount this season, this transfer window, sorry, to Borussia Dortmund. United is struggling to even raise 20 million pounds from a sale, from his sale. That is how bad it is. You know, it's very sad. Chelsea were willing to give us 25 million pounds. They offered him a contract of around 185 million pounds. Jadon Sancho wanted 250, I think. Bro, more than Cole Palmer, more than Caicedo. They told him no, fuck off, walk off. So I don't see that happening with the, I mean, it's a bit hard. I see it happening, but it's very hard. Roma is, Juventus is still interested in him, but they need to sell the likes of Team Wear. There's another player they have to fast sell, because it also depends on sales. And even after selling those players at Juventus, the Turin club is not willing to pay more than 15 million pounds for a player who's currently earning close to 300,000, you know. That includes add-ons. Without add-ons, 250,000 per week at Old Trafford, weekly. Not forgetting the price tag that we paid, 73 million pounds. That is where PSR comes in, because you cannot be buying players that you're not selling. Look at Chelsea. They just sold Madueke to Arsenal, 52 million pounds. They just sold Chelsea as that alone. They've already made they made around 129 US dollars from the recent ended FIFA Club World Cup, you know, tournament. That alone plays with the PSR. Now, on top of that, they're selling. They've sold the Maduekes. They've sold around 3 players, you know, very at a very good price. So you look at City selling players. You look at Liverpool haven't sold a lot of players, but of course, winning the Premier League, that balances the book. The Premier League alone, and even qualifying for the Champions League, that is also money. So, and they've spent a lot of money. By the way, Liverpool have, to me, I think they've already bought the league. I said that yesterday. they're buying players back to back. So it's a bit crazy. But yes, Man United is struggling to sell the three freedom fighters. Or rather, they have struggled to sell the three freedom fighters or Avengers. One has already been loaned in Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. I think an announcement just went off a few minutes ago, approximately 40 minutes ago. Jadon Sancho is still rumored that he might go to Turin and join Juventus. We don't know how close the deal are because 2 days ago, David Oyston came out and said that it's all rubbish. He doesn't know where the rumor is coming from, but it's all rubbish. And Oyston has been very credible in this transfer window, especially with the Premier League or England, UK best transfers. So anyone coming to the Premier League, he's been very, very, very credible. He's been solid. So if he comes out and he says it's not true, it's not near for Sancho leaving United, going to Turin, Juventus, it's very, very worrying. Then you have Alejandro Garnacho, who I still think is a future prospect. He's a very good player. I still think he has the talent within him. I still think he has there's a possibility for him to turn out to be a world beater, but the manners, the behavior, you know, how you conduct yourself on and off the pitch, you know, it's very bad. It doesn't go. Then he has his agent brother, you know, that go on social media and rant every time something happens. I don't think that is really good. You remember the statement that he made right after the Europa finals where we lost to Spurs? You know, that statement that made Amorim tell him point blank in front of everyone, you better have another club because you're not coming with us next summer, rather the next season. And it's already happening. And by the way, these are very good decisions that Amorim has already made. You know, he stood on his feet. Players like Jadon Sancho, Garnacho, you have Rashford, the Avengers, the freedom fighters. Point blank, he told them, you're not coming with me. Back then, we've seen a routine where even players are supposed to be leaving the club. They go with the club during preseason. This time around, all these players have stayed. You know, these players also include Tyrell Malacia. Tyrell Malacia is not on the bad side of the books when it comes to the relationship with Man United, but I understand Amorim doesn't have him in his plans, and he's told him to look for a club. Another player that arrived back in Manchester United, or sorry, in Manchester, apologies, that is Anthony Dos Santos. I love Anthony. He didn't make any drama at all. Yes, I know when he was at Betis, it was like, I've come this side to prove that I'm a very good player. But he didn't. He kept his mouth shy. Sorry, he kept his mouth shut. He hasn't said anything bad about the club. And that's why you don't find any fans or anyone calling him out, because, and don't be surprised if there are no suitors for him to go back to Real Betis, because Betis is also playing a hard ball, because they are currently no suitors, so they're waiting, I think, until the end of the season. I believe teams like Aston Villa, Chelsea, Spurs are also doing the same thing on Garnacho. They're also waiting towards not the end of the season, towards the end of the transfer window. Then they will come with offers, and if they come with offers with the transfer window ending, sometimes you're likely just to take it. And I just hope that if no club comes with more than 50 million pounds, or in other words, Garnacho should not go for less than 50 million pounds. If any club comes with less than that amount, let him be loaned out. Let him go play. Let him get more game time. You know, let him increase his value, because he's damaged that already. His market value is already low because of how he's conducted himself. He knows, everyone knows Garnacho is not in good terms with the club. So of course that means it's going to affect his his market value. Because you see players like Elanga who went for 55. You see players like Gaitens who came and joined Chelsea close to the same amount. Then you have Kudos leaving West Ham, the Hammers to Spurs. And I mean, they're all paying. Madueke, with the region is within 50 and 50 million pounds. Now, you cannot tell me a player like all those players are better than Garnacho. There is no way they're better than Garnacho. There is no way they're better than Garnacho. I'm telling you, on a good day, there is no way. And guess what? We don't have suitors, anyone who's coming in for Garnacho paying for that amount of money. So that's why I'm saying we have to take some time. So, Brian, I do understand. We are not. We need sales to get. Rather for us to be able to sign players very fast, but it's being a problem, bro. It's being a problem. Real Betis, I thought they would come in for Anthony, but they're really struggling for just to make 30 million pounds for a player who who played for them so well. You have the likes of Atletico Madrid, it's reportedly rumored that they are also interested in the player, but there is no bid. It's just rumors. Rob Duff, shout outs to you. I see in the comment section. Rob Duff, shout outs to you. I see you engaging Brian and Tinsu. Let me get to the comments real quick. Tinsu was saying earlier, I think Man United will offer Sesko, so will get Sesko, or will place a bid, or will have a bid for Sesko. Well, I don't know, guys. Tell me, what do you think, Sesko and Oli Watkins? Because anyway, Oli Watkins is it's a quick solution, but Sesko, it's a long-time solution. By that I mean Oli Watkins is not going to give you more than 2 seasons. To me, I think more than 2. Okay, who knows? But he might play until 40 years, just like the likes of Vardy, but he's not going to give. I don't think he has it in him to be scoring more than 15 goals in the Premier League in the next 3 seasons. And this coming season, he might do that. Watkins can do that. But I mean, with his age catching up, he's injury prone, considering all that, I think he might struggle to play 5 more seasons. But if it's a quick fix, you want him to come and play. I mean, if there's an option to get him from Villa on loan, if there's an option for Villa to reduce that ridiculous 60 million price tag slapped on him, and we get it we get him for less than 25 million pounds, let him come in, let him lead the striking line. Put Garnacho behind. Sorry, put Chida Obi Martin to deputize him. If Rasmus Højlund is staying, okay, but I understand if he doesn't. Anyway, I understand he doesn't want to leave, but the Italian teams, including his former club Atalanta, then you have Inter Milan and Juventus who could be interested in him. So you put all those players behind Oli Watkins to deputize him in case he's not around. Then you have the 2 10s that you just bought, the left wing forward in Cunha and right wing forward in Mbeumo. We are going to score goals, bro. I'm telling you, we are going to score goals. If Mbeumo can give you 20 goals, Watkins 16 goals, and Cunha 16 goals, bro, that will be Man United cooking. Not for you. Remember, you have the likes of Bruno and other players who can come in and also score. But for Sesko, United needs to start. I mean, Leipzig earlier on, news came in saying starting anything less than 60.6 million pounds won't be tolerated. So meaning if United are ready and they want to go in for the player, they know what to do. They know the amount of money. Again, he scored 14 goals last season for Leipzig. I think that's a bit average, but again, not so bad compared to how he performed the other season. He performed so well, but last season, yeah, he struggled a bit. But who knows? Again, he's still young. I still think he has the traits to be a world-class striker. Okay, if not that, close to that. And with the right manager, he can give you 20 goals. With the right players with him on the field, he can give you those goals. He's physical. He's tall, 6'4", 6 feet 4 in. I think he has the quality to hit the ground running in the Premier League, although it's not very easy. But we've seen that some players have just come right away and they take EPL right by the storm right away. So I still think Sesko, if United can get him, it will be a better, much longer solution solved. And I'll take him anytime. He's a great player. Then Lamens, the Belgian 23-year-old keeper who plays for Royal Antwerp. Well, the rumor is he's valued between 20 and 26 million pounds. And yes, negotiations are ongoing between Manchester United. There's no bid or offer yet for him, but I understand negotiations are ongoing. And I would love to see another keeper at Old Trafford to give Onana a run for his money, because what Onana did to Man United last season is criminal and unforgivable. So if any player can come in and if any keeper can, of course he's a player. If a player and keeper can come in, to have a one-on-one, or rather have a go at Onana, that would be great. Competition is healthy. We saw Dogu saying competition is healthy. He was talking about Diego Leon. That was after the Leeds game. He was asked by a journalist, what do you think about Leon? He said, look, he's still a kid. Of course, he's also a kid, by the way. There's a lot to come from him. You can see he's determined. He wants to be on the ball. He wants to do good. And about competition, there's no problem with that. Competition is healthy because competition gets the best out of you. Now, Onana, we need a keeper to get the best out of you, or you leave, one of the two. You become a second choice keeper. Well, Sesko doesn't have Premier League, but he fits in any. Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. That there's a possibility that he might struggle to join. The EPL. Look at, but I don't understand what's the problem, or rather, what the problem was with Rasmus Højlund, because the other season under Ten Hag, I think he scored around close to 15 to 16 goals all around. Okay, by the way, he performed fairly well in the Europa last season. He performed fairly well in the Europa, but bro, having 4 goals in 32 Premier League appearances, that is criminal, and he should be in jail for that. So Rasmus Højlund, I don't know, he needs to pull up his A game, or belong on something, something. Because if you watch Højlund and Chido Obi Martin playing, the other kid positions himself so well. You can see that, he does more. He has a good control. Rasmus Højlund has a touch of Lukaku. He cannot control, by the way. He's very poor when it comes to that. And for Sesko, never say never, but it's the Premier League. We've seen people who have come to the Premier League firing, people like Andrei Shevchenko. They come from the other side firing, only for them to really, really struggle in the Premier League. I still think also Radamel Falcao also didn't. He also struggled. A lot of players, they come from the other side scoring goals, and they really struggle. So with Sesko, well, he's still young. Again, if United can close the deal, Sesko would be a great fit. He would be, if you have Bruno, you have Cunha, you have Mbeumo, you have Amad Diallo, all at your service. I think it will be nice. It will be incredible. Brian says Sancho. When you think of that, we got spanked so many times. Man, Sanchez is a spoiled rich kid. Then Sesko would be a great player if we can sort a deal. Hope he doesn't end up like Rasmus. That's what I'm also worried about, Brian. I'm worried about that. I hope, because United paid close to 67 for Rasmus Højlund, and look how it has turned out. It's been very, very poor. Very, very poor. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. Rob Tuff, what up, Rob Tuff? He says, good evening, all. I'm hoping Barcelona can pay up for Rashford at the end of the loan. What's worrying for Rashford to turn up and plays very good, or he has a very good season, and Barcelona coughs that amount of money, because I still think it's little money. Yeah, towards the end of the season, while he was at Villa, you remember there was an option to buy for £40 million. I mean, I thought it would be the same, but he got injured, didn't finish the season so well. And look at the amount. I think it's around to 35 million euros altogether for Rashford, option to buy. I also understand there's a penalty if these guys don't take the option to buy at the end of the season, less than also 5 million euros. So I don't know. It's a bit mixed when it comes to Marcus Rashford, but you also have to know, Rob Tuff, that I saw news that he's going to be deputizing Rafinha, just to relieve him, for him to recover so well. I mean, that guy has been nothing but good last season. Rafinha, he can play in Rafinha's position, he can play in Yamal's position, he can play in Lewandowski's position. Now, unless those guys get injured, unless it's fatigue that is killing them, I don't see those guys getting benched. I do not see that those guys getting benched. And one other season, Barcelona have been struggling, I think, for the last 2-3 seasons to sign players. Look at what happened to Dani Olmo last season. I think he took 5 to 6 months, not yet registered. Now, I don't know, because I've seen already news coming in that 2 players, I'm forgetting the other player, but that includes Marcus Rashford, won't be registered, or rather have not yet been registered and won't be registered for some time until Barcelona makes some, until they get some sales done. Now, I do not know any players from Barcelona that is, there's one. But did he leave? They need to make some good money to get all these players, to be registered in the La Liga. Otherwise, you're going to see Rashford spending the same amount of time Dani Olmo spent last season, close to 6 months on the bench, not able to play because they cannot sign players. Please do subscribe, guys. Once again, shout outs to everyone in the comment section. Rob Tuff, Brian, Tinsu, everyone in the comment section, shout outs to you. Then we also had earlier on Deliso. Yes, please do subscribe. Isaac, I'm here. Josh is not around today. He's been missing. We need to get him back. He's been missing for a few days, but yeah, it's always love. It's always love. It's always love from him. Brian says United are now looking at 50 million. That is true, Brian. I saw that that's the price tag placed. But bro, I don't see anyone who's going to give us 50 million pounds, because I believe the best one can offer for Anthony, it's the region will be within 35 to 40 million pounds, unless he goes back again on loan this season to Betis and he performs even way better than how he performed last season. Because last season he joined midway, and I think he scored around 9 goals, 10 goals. I'm not so, but close to that. He had assists, and some of those goals were very, very crucial. In fact, I would say he's one of the reasons they qualified to the finals of the conference, of the Europa Conference trophy, where they lost to Chelsea. So unless he goes back and he performs way, way, way better than how he performed last season, I don't think we are going to get 50 million pounds. I do not think we are going to get that amount of money, you know. But yeah, I would love for him to join Betis, because he was so happy that side. The only problem is, man, they are struggling. They are really, really struggling. They don't have that amount of money on them, and that is not good for Man United. In fact, earlier on, the Real Betis sporting director, his name is Manu Fajado. He was speaking about Anthony, and he said, from the economic standpoint, it has to fit within our parameters. A purchase depends on United's price, explained Harrow. Then he went on to say, a loan rather than a purchase is more feasible, given what Man United wants to ask for. That means they're asking for a lot of money. He went on to say, we are assuming, and Betis is making efforts that he can arrive. But if he doesn't, I don't want to be seen as a failure. It's difficult to bring in a player of his quality and such a high financial compensation. Our responsibility is to be prepared, and we have alternatives in case Anthony doesn't arrive. We are calm. That was Manu Fajado, sporting director of Real Betis. Now, it shows you that they are not ready to cough that amount of money, you know. Now, that is not very good stuff. That is not very good stuff for everyone that thinks we might get a lot of money from Anthony. And yes, it's true. I see Rob Tuff is saying Betis are dragging their feet. 100%. I just read what their sporting director said. Brian was responding to Rob Tuff. He said, Rob Tuff dragging their feet with 30 million pounds. 30 million, and we are now looking at 50. Should be fun. Okay, Tinsu goes on to say, if we move to next summer to sign the best striker, Man United will not finish top 10 again. So we had better sign an elite striker like Sesko. Well, guys, again, I'm all in for Sesko. I'm all in for Ollie Watkins. Those are the only guys that I'm saying. Rasta Stocks, what up, what up? I see Rasta Stocks in the comment section. Shout outs to you. Rasta Stocks also has a YouTube channel. Of course, he's also a staunch Man United fan. Please, whenever you get some time, do subscribe. He's one of those legit guys we started with, and some time back we hosted him on the show. Hopefully we will very soon, and we'll be crossing to the other side of his. Tins was saying maybe we should do everything to get Sesko because he's an elite striker. Look, do you think United is ready to cough 60.5? Actually, that's the minimum. Anything less than 60.6, don't go to Leipzig. But I think the whole amount would lead to 70. You know, because if they see you paying for that amount of money for the likes of Mbomo, then you have Matheus Cunha. Why not pay that amount of money for Sesko? And he has that vibe around him. By vibe, I mean a lot of teams are interested in him. Arsenal was earlier on rumored to be interested in him, although they've ended up signing Victor Gyökeres. Chelsea, was rumored to be interested in him. At one point way back then, before they got Ken, Bayern is rumored also to have been interested in him. So it's a bit crazy. And with United, I think they've tracked him for around 3 to 4 seasons. You know, back then during Ole. So it's a bit wild. It's a bit wild for Sesko, but I think he's a better player. Rather, he will be a great player. He's a better player than what we have. He would come in and we would do well. We would score because we have, let me first show you what we have for you who don't understand what I'm talking about. We have these players now, and to me, let me put it on screen just real quick. Look at these guys. Mbuemo, 42 games, 20 goals, 9 assists. Cunha, 17 goals, 6 assists. Then you have Marcus Rashford. Sorry, not Marcus Rashford. Why am I talking about Rashford? Ahmad Diallo, aka Starboy, 11 goals and 10 assists. Remember, he was out for some time because of the injury. So, I mean, if you have all these guys here, the guys I've put on your screen, do you see the amount of goals we're scoring, bro? This is already 37 plus 11. That is how many goals? That is 37 plus 11. That is 48, right? Bro, don't forget the likes of Bruno Fernandes, who had 38 goal involvements for Man United last season. Bro, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. And not forgetting, you see, Brian Mbeumo had around 9 assists, Cunha 6 assists, Starboy 10 assists. Bro, I'm telling you, United is going to be unstoppable if things work out so well. If everything clicks, fine and well, United is going to be killing it, and I cannot wait for next season. Shout outs to everyone. Mugisha Solomon, what up, Mugisha Olibichi, what up, Mugisha? Says Sesko Oye than Ole. Let's wait and see. Brian goes on to say, alone and him playing great could get us some good money. You're right. Yeah, that is, I think you mean you're referring to Anthony Dos Santos. I think it would, if we're not getting the right price of money, the right amount of money. It's best you loan him back again to the same club. He does so well, because if he does, actually, before even the season ends, we'll have the suitors, we'll have offers, but the only problem is we'll fail to sell our homegrown talents. That is why we're even having issues with PSR. Rashford going for very, 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 very cheaply. I call that a ridiculous. It's a joke that the option to buy is around 35 million euros altogether. It's a joke. Then you have Garnacho. Nothing. No one is placing a bid on him yet. But if we could manage to get 50 plus from Garnacho, our transfer window would be sorted. I'm telling you, it will be sorted. Rob Tuff goes on to say, Sesko seems a hard deal to make. Arsenal walked away. Yep. By the way, Arsenal's preferred striker was not Gyökeres. It was Benjamin Sesko. But I think because of the negotiations and how Leipzig was playing hard to get, they walked away and turned to Gyökeres. So that also makes sense if you say he walked away, because you cannot. That's what I actually thought at one time. Manchester United were about to walk away from the Mbeumo deal because bro, those guys stretched us. Although I do understand, because you cannot pay 55 for Kudos, Ilanga's 55, Madueke 52, and you come go rather, and you go for what was the first price? The first bid United offered around 45 plus 5 or something in add-ons. They went on for a second bid that was also rejected, 55 plus 7.5 in add-ons, million pounds. And altogether it was around 62, also the same amount, 62.5, the same amount for Cunha. And Brentford were like, dude, you paid 62 for 62.5 for Cunha, who scored 16 goals and even had less assists compared to Brentford's Mbeumo, our guy, who scored 20 goals and 9 assists. So there is no way we are going to leave him for that amount of money. So that explains why we paid the 71 million pounds with 65 upfront and the 6 in add-ons. So yeah, Sesko was a very hard deal. That's why Arsenal walked away. Rob Tuff, I think Brian was replying. Rob Tuff, I think Sesko wanted to sell on a buy clause. That's why Sesko. You mean Leipzig wanted to add on sell on and buy clause? Okay, I didn't know that. To be honest, I didn't get into that. Into that. Then I see Mean or Aya. Shout outs to you. We are united. Red flag. Glory, Man United. Glory, Man United. Rob Tuff is responding to Brian saying, I had that. I think his price is out of range for this. But, I don't even get it because he didn't perform so well last season. He didn't. He didn't perform so well. I'm telling you, he didn't perform so well. Ollie Watkins performed way better than him. League, he scored around 13 goals. The assists were maybe 5 or 6. I'm not so sure. But Watkins had 8 assists. He had 16 Premier League goals, bro. That is 24 goals. He did way much better, you know. And I wouldn't have a problem if United wait for Watkins and paid not more than 25. If Villa is ready to accept not more than or rather around 25 million pounds and less, I wouldn't mind at all. But the 60 million price tag on Ollie Watkins, come on, guys, fuck off. There's no way we're playing for that. There's no way we are paying for that amount of money. No way. No way. Reason being, bro, he's making 30 very soon. You know, if you were 23, 24, okay, and 25 maybe, okay, it's understandable. But bro, you're making 30 years very soon. And I know Watkins is open to joining Man United. I think even if it were on loan for as long as United is going to cover his wages, I think he would join Man United. But Villa is going to play hardball. They are really going to play hardball. Then he go. I like Watkins. Villa sell. Well, they slapped a 60 million pounds for anyone interested in Watkins. That's why I've been saying they're jokers. You know, first of all, you have to look at the contract. Yes, he still has a contract, but I think it's only 1 year left. On top of that, he's 29 years old. On top of that, Watkins is injury prone. So for Villa to slap a 60 million pounds on him, I take that as a joke. Honestly speaking, I think it's a joke. They shouldn't be doing that at all. They shouldn't. It's not right that they do such games. Maybe they don't want him to walk, or rather they don't want him to leak, to leave. But yeah, the idea of getting Benjamin Sesko or Watkins, but I know Sesko is priority number one. But I mean, coming around and being convinced on prioritizing Ollie Watkins as the number two, and I mean, it makes sense, honestly. For the right price, 25 million pounds or less, it makes sense, because I think he fits very well. He fits very well in front of both Cunha and Mbomo. Seriously, I mean, they would do so well. Cunha's passes, you've seen those passes, those in behind passes. You know, the Mbomo crosses. He ticks a lot of boxes for me, Ollie Watkins. The only problem is the price tag. Another proven player in Watkins when you already have two good prolific players in Cunha and Mbomo. That would be great. That would be great, because I mean, he can give you 15 goals a season in the Premier League, you know. And yes, I understand he has scored his average. He has averaged 15 goals in the Premier League for the last 5 seasons for Aston Villa. So maybe, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if he joins, you know. But well, they missed out on Champions League, so their financial situation means they need to sell, and this is where United needs to come in and take advantage of this. But again, not paying more than 25 million pounds. I mean, Watkins is 29 years old. He has some people are saying he has a good injury record. No. Me, from what I understand, his injury record is not so good. He's not so good. I'm not saying it's the worst, but it gets injured too often at times, and at times you really think it's not really. He shouldn't be. He should be on the pitch playing. But yeah, I still think he would do so well in front of both Cunha and Mbeumo. Brian says the way Ineos works will probably end up with Vardy. No. This is no way we are getting Vardy, bro. There is no way. But Brian, you have to give up. You have to give a shout to Ineos. You know, I don't know whether you've realized this, because at the beginning of the season, we were told United has a transfer kit of around 100 million pounds, correct? Now, 100 million pounds, those guys have spent so far 37.05, close to that, million pounds in getting 2 very good EPL proven players. I repeat, at the beginning of the season, Ineos had, it is rumored that United had 100 million pounds in the bag as the transfer kit. Of that amount, United has managed to use only 37.5 or 0.05, I'm not so certain, but somewhere around there, to get very, very good players, EPL proven players in Cunha and Mbeumo. How have they done that? They've closed these deals, paying all this amount in installments. The 71 for Mbeumo, that is 65 upfront plus the 6 in add-ons. remember it's going to be okay. The 65, I'll talk about the 65 because the add-ons are very hard to achieve. The 65 is going to be paid in 4 installments. They've already been Brentford was already paid or has already been paid 16.25 million pounds. 16.25 million pounds off the 100 million pounds. Okay. Then for Cunha, United will be paying in 3 installments. They've already paid 20.5 million pounds. Now, if you get the 20.5 million pounds plus the 16.25, that is very good. You understand, that shows you how bad it is. I mean, in terms of signing, but we're struggling, and Ineos is trying, Omar Berada is trying his best, courtesy of course, his boss, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, is it Christopher Vevel, to get the Wilcox of all those, to get all these deals done. Now, you have to give them credit for that. That means you still have another 60-something in the bag here waiting. Now, if you're going to go in for Benjamin Sesko, and those guys are also willing to take, or rather to take the payment, the mode of payment in terms of installments, who knows? Then you might have Benjamin Sesko. You get the other keeper, the one that plays for Royal Antwerp, the 23-year-old Belgian. What's it? Lamens. You get him. I understand he doesn't exceed 26 million pounds. You get my point? And maybe you get a midfielder as well. So I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. It looks bad on the outside, but it's not very, very, very bad, and I still think you can, give them a benefit of the doubt. Yes, they've not done very well. I blame them for taking all that time they took to hire the guy who was this guy who was from Newcastle. Oh God, I'm forgetting his name. The one that we fired. Forgetting his name. I know you guys. Please, someone put him in the. Dean. I'm forgetting the name, guy. Fuck, I'm forgetting his name. But United took a lot of time trying to convince Newcastle to get his signature. You get it? To get his signature. That guy took even some time off. He took some time off, around 2-3 months. Dan Ashworth. His name is Dan Ashworth. Because if I remember, the true cost of Man United sacking the former sporting director Dan Ashworth was around I think 37.6 million pounds, if I'm not mistaken, due to foreign exchange. So I mean, it's close to that, because United paid a total of 4.1 to hire him. You get it? To hire him from Newcastle. To hire him, on top of that, you fire him right into, I think he didn't even make 3 or 4 months. You fire him, Dan Ashworth. So that was very stupid. The amount of money you paid to get him, the amount of money you're going to pay in terms of compensation. On top of that, they made another mistake that Sir Jim Ratcliffe did agree when he was in one of the interview of extending Eric Ten Hag's contract. They activated the other option for another 1 year. They could have just let him go, because the other one is just an option. And meaning, when you do that, that means his wages are also going to be increased, rather are going to increase. So the fact that they also terminated him or fired him along rather mid-season, that also cost us money. Those are some of the bad decisions that Ineos has done. Again, you hire Ruben Amorim mid-season, a manager with a completely different philosophy, different formations and system, of which the players we currently, or rather back then that we had, do not fit that style of play. No wonder we ended up where we ended up, because things didn't look so good after Eric Ten Hag being fired. We instead deteriorated. We performed so poorly. You look at Anthony. Anthony was a very good player. I still think he's a good player, but the kind of system that Amorim wants, it doesn't suit him. I don't see him playing as a right wing back. I don't see him playing as our 9. I don't see him playing as our right wing forward. So they had to let him go. He has to let him go. And we're struggling also to sell him. He's still on our wage books, very huge amount. Okay, you get it. You look at players like Tyrell Malacia, it's not working out. Jadon Sancho, it's not working out. Rashford, it has failed. It failed completely to work out. Garnacho, the behavior, I still think he could have done better, but I think there was room, and there's still room for improvement when it comes to Garnacho. But the behavior, his behavior is not good. So I mean, that explains it, But so yes, maybe Ineos They did some very bad decisions in terms of hiring Dan Ashworth, paying to get him, then again firing him, then you compensate him, then extending Eric Ten Hag's contract, when they activated that option, then after firing him, and also you have to compensate him. Then midway, you hire Ruben Amorim. Maybe they could have just stuck and waited with Ten Hag until end of the season, and they fire him. You bring in midway, you bring in a manager like Ruben Amorim, and it's completely chaos. But one thing I do know about Ruben Amorim is he's a fighter, because for those of you that know, he went to Braga when it was a mess, and he won them the league. He went to Sporting Lisbon when it was complete total mess, and he won them the league, not once or twice. So yeah, you have to give it up for Ruben Amorim. And for Ineos, I would say out of 100 so far, I would rate them 45%, not 50, but 45%. I increase in it should have been 25%, but the fact that they've managed to close these two deals, on that limited budget that we have, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Aya says we need, I hope I'm pronouncing your name. I can just say we need Red Blood man to fight, because we are the Red Devils. Everyone, if love the club, yeah, we need players that are ready to do everything for the badge, because we don't need mediocres. We don't need people that do not respect the badge. We need people that understand what that badge, whenever you have that badge on you, whenever you wear that jersey, you know what you're standing for, you know what you're representing. We need people that are ready to give blood for Man United. That is true. And yes, Brian goes on to say, yeah, I do agree. We got two brilliant players. If we can get a number 9, we'll be doing. If we can get a number 9, and also, Brian, I don't know what you think about our midfield. I do not trust the midfield. I saw us being stretched last season. Even this friendly with Leeds, we were very, very stretched. So the midfield was stretched. I still think Fernandes needs a proper defensive midfielder. I wanted Richard Ineos. Unfortunately, he's crossover from Palmeiras to Benfica, and those guys have slapped a is it 100 million pounds, I think. Yeah, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, price tag. And he's going to do very good. He's going to do very, very, very well. I still think he could have done well. The other players that I would see that would suit in there in slotting so well, EPL already experience, Brighton's Baleba. Ooh, that guy would cook everyone. That guy's midfield is nice. Baleba has a very, very good midfield. He can read the ball. He can read the game. He can control the tempo if he has very good players around him. He knows how to cross. He knows how to pass. He knows how to run. He knows how to defend. He knows how to win tackles. Baleba would be an excellent addition to the squad. The other person I would say that would also do well is the Brazilian currently Atlanta player, that is Ederson. He would also do. He has the qualities. He has the legs. He has the height. He has the strength. I still think he would adapt so very, very well to the Premier League, and he can cover ground. Lastly, you're going to be surprised. Tonali. I don't know what you guys think about Sandro Tonali. That guy is a game changer. You remember when he was banned for how long? I don't remember how many months he was banned. Then later he came back to Newcastle, and you can see they got the balance. Him missing, it was unbalanced. So they missed that balance. As soon as he tapped back, everything was back on track. So if United, I don't know if those guys are willing to say, but Sandro Tonali, that guy is game. He's a good midfielder. He's a good DM. He can give you anything. You put that guy with Bruno Fernandes in our pivot. Oh, magic. And you have you have Cunha in front there. You have Mbuemo. You have the other side on the right wing back, Amad Diallo. Then up front, assuming you have Sesko and he's doing well, or Ollie Watkins, who's on loan or on a lesser price from Aston Villa. Bro, we are going to cook. I swear we would be. Listen how I'm saying we are going to cook, because that hasn't happened. Yeah, I still think he would be a great addition. What did Ten Hag walk away with? Was it 22 or was it 20 or 27? Man, close to that. Somewhere within that region. No, but was it? Let me check it out. But yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Those are some of the decisions that cost us, because from what I understand, the decision to fire Ten Hag and Ashworth's departure as the sporting director of Man United, cost altogether a total of $18 million, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. $18 million. So for Ten Hag, I think it was close to let me see. I think he got around 10. He got paid around 10 million US dollars, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, approximately 12 in everything, with everything added. And so, yeah, still not good stuff at all. Still going through the comment section, guys. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for keeping me here, because usually I'm here vibing with Josh, but Josh is not around. Brian says, yep, I trust our manager. I trust him. I like the fact that he took the stand to stop all these players who he thinks are not included in his squad. Because usually, again, I said it earlier, the former managers, even some clubs would take them while on preseason, spend all the time, again, training them and all that stuff, and they end up walking away. So you're not interested, like a player like Marcus Rashford. For those of you that are whining, you shouldn't be whining. Rashford came out in an interview with Henry Winter, and said he's ready to walk away because he's ready for a new challenge. So why would you cry over someone who wants to leave you? Okay, it doesn't make sense. He said it himself in an interview. He went on to say, I don't remember where he was, but it was I think a Spanish outlet, where he said he would love to join Barcelona next summer. Talking about next season, and that was it? I think that was right after the league, right after the season. So again, why should you cry over a player who wants to leave? Jadon Sancho wants nothing to do with Man United. He has taken out every pick that associates him, any information that associates him with Manchester United, from his bios, from all his social media handles. Why would you want to keep a player like him? Rashford goes to Aston Villa on loan, then he comes out to say freedom. That's why I call them freedom fighters. Those are the Avengers, the three Avengers. Rashford, who said he wants out, he wants a new challenge. Rashford, Sancho, and you have this kid with his funny brother and agent, Alejandro Garnacho. I think everyone has seen what Alejandro Garnacho has been doing. The comments he made right after the game, the finals, United losing to the finals of the Europa League, the comments that his brother writes on social media, all that stuff, then you go on to put to wear Rashford's Aston Villa jersey. I mean, what are you thinking? So, I mean, I like Garnacho. I think there's a good player in him. But, bro, I trust my manager's decision laying off all these guys. Tyrell Malacia also, he was asked to look for a new club. Anthony Dos Santos, it's such a shame that it has failed to work out, but he was also asked to look for new players. Brian, definitely need midfielders. We would struggle without one. Yep, we need one. Sandro Tonali, I would take over any other midfield. Yo, I would take over any other. He's a very good player. He's a baller. Tonali is a workhorse. He's a powerhouse. That guy doesn't mess around. Evalson would be a good. Well, he would be, but have you seen also the price tag? It's around 70 million pounds. Man, Bournemouth has made money. They've already sold the other kid to Real Madrid for around 50, 55, close to that. Then there's another player I think they've sold already. Bournemouth and Brighton have done very well when it comes to talent nurturing in the last, I think Bournemouth in the last maybe 1 or 2 seasons, but with the Brighton in the last 3 or 4 seasons, they have done so well when it comes to, I don't know what, their scouting department is very good. They gave you Cucurella, who's at Chelsea, sold for around 52 million pounds. You have Caicedo. You remember the amount of money, it was obnoxious, the amount of money that Chelsea paid to get his his signature, and he's a very good player. Caicedo, to me, he's in the top 6, top 5 midfielders to me. He's there. Him, the likes of Vitinha, the likes of Baleba, I would put him there. Those players are very, very good. Very, very good. So yes, they've had João Pedro sold recently to Chelsea. They're doing so well, by the way. So unless they want to sink, but they should use this money that they have received from all these sales to get very, very good players. Rashford spit on United fans who made him. That is very true, 100%. I won't even add it. That explains it very well. That explain, bro. He did, and I'm not sorry that he's going to the other side. I hope he gets, rather he gets on the pitch so fast, because Barcelona with financial issues, getting players to play. As I was saying earlier, Danny almost spent almost 6 months waiting for him to be registered, and already rumors saying that Rashford cannot play. Maybe in the in the friendlies, but when it comes to the league, when it officially starts, unless Barca makes good sales, they cannot sign or register Marcus Rashford. So there's another player also, by the way. So that is Barca for you. Min says, Bamis, we love sports, but we just don't. But don't touch my team, United. Only love my heart. Sorry, I can't get that. My heart. Those players have to fight for the club. I know. I do agree with you. I think everyone also in the comment section does agree with you. They need to fight for the club. They need to be ready to risk everything. Are we get no. He'll be a great player, by the way, and he's cheap for that amount of money. He's cheap. He doesn't go more than 25, 26 million pounds. He's cheap. But I think Javi and his management or agents, whatever it is, they're just trying to pull strings. They're just playing those cards on Man United so as to have Valencia give them a better contract, because he rejected the first contract or contract renewal offer. So I think they're just trying to muscle them so that they get a better offer from Valencia in order for him to renew, because that's why they are putting out all those rumors that United is interested, negotiations are ongoing and all that. So I understand if Javi and his manager are playing those games, but if it's true that he wants to come through, if it's true, get him. He's a very good player also, by the way. He's a good player. He's still 23 years old. He would be a great addition to Man United. Brian says, where are our scouts? Why are we not running through Africa and South America looking for young talent? Look, Brian, I was talking to Josh last time. South America has some of the best talents, to groom, and they become world beaters, whether it's keepers, whether it's defenders, anywhere, any position on the field. But I don't know why guys don't. And look at Brighton, by the way. They just sold. Who is this guy that they just sold to AC Milan? SP. His name is very funny. Is it Espiano? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the pronunciation. But you see what I'm saying? Majority of those guys are South American. Yao Pedro. Okay, Kukurea not South American, but of course, same language. So I don't understand why Manchester United doesn't scout. And we had over 200 scouts. Can you imagine? Ineos had to fire around 3/4 of those, or 75% of those. They had to lay off all those 200 scouts for a club to perform so poorly in the last 4 seasons. 4 seasons in a decade, ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Yes, we've won the Europa. Yes, we've won the FA. Yes, but bro, that is not where we want Man United. We want to be. We want to be there. So yes. By the way, you have to give credit to Ineos. Remember, they went all the way down and got that kid from Guiders FC. What's his name? Sekou Kone in Mali. Guiders is it's I think it's a football academy that side in Mali, Africa, deep down there. Where I think it's also Christopher Vivel. It's Sekou Kone has Christopher Vivel all around him. Deep down there, and they got Sekou Kone, and that kid is a baller. If you watch the last game, that kid is a baller. He's a proper baller. If he gets the right treatment, gets the right management, and the manager helps him so out, he's going to turn out so good. He's going to turn out a very, very good player. So yes, United should do more. They should send scouts to South America and Africa, but especially South America. There's young, promising talent. Look at Richard Rios. We just lost him to Benfica. That guy is very good. He's very good. I've watched him play. He's absolutely a beast in the midfield, in the hole, in the pivot. So I do agree with you. I agree with you. Brian says, I can see Rashford working only because he wants England place in the World Cup. Of course, that is true. That is why he struggled. The World Cup is next year. So he has to do whatever it takes. But again, going at Barcelona, those fans do not mess around. They welcome you so good. I saw quite a crowd today when he was entering. Um, what is the offices of Barcelona? And I'm telling you, boy, oh boy, those guys do not mess around. La Liga fans, ask ask Bale, ask Owen, ask anyone. It doesn't. Those guys do not mess around if you're not performing. So Marcus Rashford has really to turn up, or else it's going to be hell for him. Peace, peace. Hi, Peace. It's been a while. How are you? Peace is also a staunch Liverpool fan. She usually comes on if Liverpool has won. She came on last time when they signed Florian Wirtz for that amount of money. She came on when they signed Frimpong. She came on when they signed who else? You signed someone else. Was it Milos Kerkez? She always comes to clown us. But yeah, she's also a very, very good support of the stream and the channel. Shout out to you, Peace. See you this coming season. We are strapping for you, although you're already strapped. Rob Tuff says, I think we've signed 2 youngsters this summer. We've signed, there's one kid, but one was loaned to Lusale. That is also Ineos, by the way, team. But me, I'm just happy that we got Aiden Heaven. That kid is solid. That Aiden Heaven is solid. And it was a bargain, only £1 million from Arsenal. Then we got Sekou Kone, superb, superb. Those kids are very good. And United are yet, today they offered a kid, I'm forgetting his name, his first contract. I'm going to check through the name, but yeah, they're investing so much in kids. They've already signed, if you're talking about youngsters, they've already signed Diego Leon, kid from Paraguay. That guy said, I know everyone thinks I'm going to go and be loaned right away, but they are wrong. I'm going to go hit the ground running in 2, 3, 4 preseason games. I'll be in the starting 11. So, I mean, that kind of mentality, that's what we, and he's only a kid, Diego Leon. So Patrick Dogu has to lace his shoes. He has to know that he has now competition. Aya says, don't complain. What you can for, sorry, brother, I didn't get that. Brian, all scouts, we couldn't find top African and South American. Yeah, Connie is a top player in the making. Yeah, he's a top player in the making. But yes, he needs game time. I was thinking maybe he could be, somewhere saying maybe he gets game time in the championship. I do agree. Or they could do with what they did with Chido Obi Martin, stays with Manchester United and plays in the under 21s. What do you think, Brian? That is not also bad. That is good. But if he's to be loaned, I would prefer for him to be loaned in the championship, not funny teams, because the championship is a bit hard. The same thing we did with Diallo. Went the other side in was he playing for Rangers? Was he? Because it wasn't Celtic. Was it Rangers back then in Scotland? Don't remember. Then came back in the championship and played for Sunderland. And look how he turned out to be. He turned out to be brilliant, extremely, extremely brilliant. Brian says Fernandez to Benfica now at Real Madrid. We never played him. Man, it's quite a shame that we've what. Don't complain. Sorry, I didn't get your question. Heaven is brilliant. Leon is top draw. Yo, I like that kid's mentality. Seriously, I like his mentality. He's the real deal. He can do well. He's going to do us good. So let's wait and see how things turn out. One of the kids that were loaned today, I think he's already been out. Radek Vitek, we know him. He's a keeper. He's always been around. He's also out on loan. He's going to be loaned this summer, rather for the next summer. Ethan Whitley, the same thing. But we have kids like Harry Amas is going to be loaned. But I understand Diego Leon, Patrick Dog is still a kid. Lenny Yoro, we have Sekou Kone, we have Aiden Heaven, we have Chido Obi Martin, we have Kobe Maino, we have Collier. I mean, all those kids are going to be staying. Maybe Sekou Kone, but majority of all those kids are going to be staying at Manchester United. And let's see how things turn out. Who knows? I mean, it might turn out good. Well, guys, let me show you this. Man, this Garnacho thing. Huh? Let me show you this right now. By the way, we're about to end the stream. Let me show you this before I leave. Oh my God, Garnacho. Check out this. This is Garnacho for you. He's giving all the indications. What a twat. That's it. After Marcus Rashford's post of joining, blah 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 blah, he comes out and say, "Let's go." I mean, it's not bad, but we all know the intentions. This is another Avenger that needs to leave. That is another Avenger that needs to leave Manchester United as soon as possible. That's him, man. These kids, Ganacho. But yeah, anyway, that was him reacting to Rashford's move to Barcelona. Then I see someone saying Amarim is pressuring the Man United board to resolve the futures of Jadon Sancho, Alejandro Garnacho, and Anthony as a matter of urgency, ideally before the squad returns from the US tour. That is Marco Alcaraz. He's a journalist on X. That Rashford thing, Garnacho thing is going viral. Everyone is tweeting that. Everyone is talking about that. Everyone is tweeting that. Emerson to Besiktas. Anyway, once again, guys, please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. Real quick, let me go through the transfers. I don't know whether you guys want me to say, oh my God, do you know what Marcus Rashford just said? I swear. No wonder. Let me put it up on screen. My God. For those of you that have X, I know you're already getting this, but he has said a lot of things, but this caught my eye. It feels like it feels like I am at home. This is a club. This is a family club for me. It feels like I'm at home. This is a family club for me. That is your boy. That is your boy, Marcus Rashford. Cadets of United exclusive on X. That is your boy, Marcus Rashford. Again, so those of you, again, that have been coming out saying that United did bad to sell him and all that, well, he called it. He's just telling you he feels home where he is, the other side at Barcelona. In other words, he didn't feel that at Man United. He made an interview specifically to air out his concerns and also said it that he wants to leave. I don't have anything bad to say about Manchester United. It's an important part of my life. I wish them all the best, and I hope they are successful in future. Well, that's what he had to say. That's what he had to say. So yeah, that is Rashford for you. And he's going to be wearing shirt number 14. Well, good for him. Real quick, guys, let's go through the transfers, the outings. Already, we have Christian Eriksen off. Johnny Evans off, Lindelof off, but don't forget Evans is back as he transitioned into what's the role? Head of loans and pathways at the club, post-retirement. Then we have Sam Murray, who was transferred. Harrison, goalkeeper, to Shrewsbury. Ethan Whitley, I just talked about him, and Vitek, both academy prospects, are expected also to leave on summer, of course, on loan. The other kid we signed besides Diego Leon that I think Rob Taff was talking about is Enzo Kana, who was signed on a free transfer from Le Havre, but also loaned to Lausanne in Switzerland. I think that's all, guys. That's all. Anything else players we're being linked to? Nothing really. Once again, let me go through the comment sections real quick before I go. Shout outs to you, Brian, by the way. Shout outs to you, big time. You've been so man, you've kept me going. Obi is one for the future. Yeah, Ahmad was at the Rangers, and he says, I hope tonight stays. Connie, I hope Connie. But we also have Godwin Kunkonki. You know that guy, right? The CB. I understand he's also going to be staying, but I didn't see him in one of those guys that traveled. I thought he would be traveling or joining the team. I didn't see his name. Brian says, I would pay to get rid of I pay Sancho. I think you meant I pray Sancho I think you meant you would pay to get rid of Jadon Sancho. The show, good show. I'll be back. Thank you so much. Rashford is full. Will Rashford do school? Nope. By the way, that is a very good. He's not going to do that. Let's wait and see. That's why I say those guys don't mess around. Let's wait and see. Brother, we will be back. Thank you so much, everyone that has been on the stream. Glory, glory, Man United. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, hopefully with my partner in crime, Josh, if not the other day. See you tomorrow, Brian. Guys, please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. Sports Jazz, Isaac, and I am officially signing out. Cheers, guys. Glory, glory, Man United.